And the dramatisation of Jane Austen's Persuasion is available now from BBC Video. Relax on Boxing Day and unwind with some festive treats on BBC2. Going behind the scenes of Pride and Prejudice.
I think he probably makes the...
In 10 minutes, there's a chance to hear Her Majesty the Queen's Christmas message to the Commonwealth with signing and subtitling. BBC2 Now looks into the cinematic magic of Charlie Chaplin's City Lights, as savoured by Richard Attenborough.
Well, the film I've chosen is City Lights, Charlie Chaplin's City Lights. And I think perhaps it's the most perfect of all his movies, in that it epitomises this extraordinary ability to make you roar with laughter and then break your heart, or the other way around. And there's a scene in City Lights where there's a flower girl sitting on the corner of a street, and Charlie walks down a street and sees some police. Charlie is always in fear of the police, and in order to escape them, there's a traffic jam and cars been parked on the side of the road. Charlie gets in and out of a car. He goes in one side, goes through the back of the car and out the other side. It's a chauffeur-driven car. And of course the flower girl simply hears the click door of a Rolls Royce, of a very smart car. And Charlie realizes that she is offering him a flower to buy, and he of course realizes that what's happened. She thinks he's got out of a very smart car, and the owner of the smart car has disappeared. So Charlie, as it were, takes up the position of the owner of the car and offers to buy the rose. And when something falls to the ground and she is feeling for the money on the ground, Charlie realizes that she's blind. And there's a little scene, a mime scene, whereby she puts the rose on his jacket and he ostensibly disappears. The man comes back and gets into the car, and the little girl says, "Oh, you've forgotten your change," and the car drives away. Charlie just sits there, comes back round a corner, adoring this beautiful face. And the end of the scene, which I won't actually describe, is how he takes out the sentimentality and pays the thing off. He understood the timing of comedy, and timing in all sorts of levels, in its finest sense, whether it be comedy or whether it be drama, is an absolutely essential part of cinema, because the director has to decide when his audience should see a close shot. Not even a close shot, just one person or another person. I'm talking about a filmmaker, not a director, because Steven Spielberg makes a differential between a director, however brilliant for hire, and a filmmaker. Charlie was a filmmaker. He absolutely understood that in cinema there was a totally new technical freedom, which was editing. His ability to be able to build up the tension with a scene, or the humanity within a scene, or to build up to a point of the feed line, and the payoff, as it were, is exemplified in this scene, perhaps as much as anything that I can recall.
And Charlie Chaplin's City Lights can be seen here on BBC2 at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
This is the Queen's Parish Church.
Alan Bennett takes you on a tour of Westminster Abbey.
The English have always been cliquey, and the burial and memorial customs of the Abbey contrive to make them as cliquey in death as they are in life. The most obvious clique being Poets' Corner. It's the English liking for clubs. And of course it means that when the last trump sounds, there won't be any awkward standing about like there is at the start of a party. Of course, a lot of them will be talking shop, but that's the English idea of heaven anyway.
One of Britain's great institutions on another. Alan Bennett on the Abbey, a 3-part special starting in 10 minutes.
Now on BBC2, Her Majesty the Queen's Christmas message to the Commonwealth with signing and subtitling.
In 1995, the nation and the Commonwealth have been celebrating the anniversary of VE and VJ Day.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover.
It gives me very great pleasure to inaugurate the 50th anniversary of VE Day.
In quieter moments, we also remembered those who paid the price for our freedom. Commemorations and anniversaries are very important elements in our national life. Last summer, we paid tribute, 50 years on, to all those who took part in the deadly events of the Second World War. In May, we gave thanks for the end of the war in Europe. And then in August, for the first time since the end of the war in the Far East, we gave a real welcome home to the veterans of Burma and the Pacific. It was difficult to know that day who felt the greater pride, those of us watching or those on parade. It was an unforgettable day for all of us. The war demanded immense sacrifices and acts of selfless endurance and bravery. But the final victory gave much of the world 50 years of relative peace. All generations since then have had good reason to be grateful to those who gave their service, and in all too many cases, their health or their lives, so that the rest of us could enjoy the freedom to get on with our lives in peace. The work for peace is never ending. At long last, the fighting between the factions in the former Yugoslavia seems to be coming to an end, with life beginning to return to some kind of normality. This Christmas, thousands of Commonwealth servicemen and women will be far from their families, already playing their part in the international force dedicated to keeping that peace. Closer to home, there has been a peace in Northern Ireland for more than a year. It is heartily welcomed by all people of goodwill. These are the first fruits of that ceaseless work for peace. They could only have been achieved by the quiet and determined efforts of all sorts of different people, some of them famous, many of them unnoticed and unsung by the world at large, but all peacemakers nonetheless. It is when the fighting ceases that the work of reconciliation and reconstruction can begin. A short time ago, I invited a number of workers from volunteer organizations to Buckingham Palace. They came from all over the Commonwealth, and they had worked in many countries, from Bosnia to Rwanda, from Chechnya to Cambodia. They go quietly about their business in harrowing and dangerous circumstances, giving help to the suffering and the hungry.
First we take the baby.
Like the people who fought and won the last war, they make no claim to be anything out of the ordinary, but their commitment is very far from ordinary, and their contribution is something of which their compatriots can feel deeply proud. It was during my visit to South Africa last March that I witnessed a glowing example of how the inspiration and energy of one person can benefit thousands of others.
Majesty, you are so welcome. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you. It's very nice to come and see your work.
Thank you. I'm Ethel,
Yes.
and I'm from Lissycasey in Ireland.
7 years ago, Sister Ethel came to this township outside Port Elizabeth, where she began teaching young children under the shade of a solitary tree.
Okay, 10.
Through her hard work and tenacity, she has now built a preschool and a clinic. These provide for children and teenagers who have missed out on formal education. Soup and bread are distributed to the heads of 500 families from the township each day. And through the gift of a piece of waste ground by the local council, people are being taught to cultivate the land and grow their own vegetables. But I suspect that Sister Ethel's modesty and sense of humor prevents her from appreciating the full extent of her achievements. The traditional Christmas message speaks of peace and goodwill among men. It is the volunteers and the Sister Ethels of this world who spread that message, and it is for the rest of us to welcome it. Christ said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." Thanks to the peacemakers, many millions will enjoy a better Christmas this year. I hope your Christmas will be a happy one. God bless you all.
She's been hailed as one of the world's greatest dancers, but you may never have seen her in action before, until now. From the Paris Opera House to a unique collaboration for BBC2, Sylvie Guillem, modern dance's most talked about star, in an exclusive presentation of her style and talent as you've never seen her before. Sylvie Guillem, starting Boxing Day at 7:35 on BBC2.
In a country torn apart by war, two young boys dedicated their lives to an ancient art. In an empire on the brink of revolution, they shared a dream until a woman came between them in a triangle of passion and betrayal. Acclaimed by the critics, showered with awards, the television premiere of Chung Kai-ger's Farewell, My Concubine. Tonight at 10 on BBC2.
Strange omens of doom befall the Meldrews, but what else would you expect? One Foot in the Grave on BBC1 now. The first of a special three-part series here on BBC2, Alan Bennett takes a personal look behind the pomp and ceremony of Westminster Abbey.
Colin Firth stars in a tale of lust, witchcraft,
Darkness all about you.
and murder. But there's only one suspect.
You want me to defend a pig?
Murder is murder, whether it be committed by a half-witted man or a pig.
Courtois, I know you've been tumbling the black woman. Everybody knows. What did you hear? Very little. What very little did you hear? The fine animal.
You told me it would be stopped. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
The Hour of the Pig, Boxing Day at 10 on BBC2.
Confused sexual identity and emotional betrayal. A young performer in the Peking Opera attempts to stem the flow of an unpredictable life in the award-winning Farewell, My Concubine in 5 minutes. First, BBC2 pops in around the Video Nation to see a splice of life on Christmas Day.
Can't do it on my own.
I made these at school. Shall I tell you how to make them? Now then, need a hole punch and 3 cards.
Children playing, having fun. It's the season.
I've been having a good look under the tree for the presents. And there's nothing for me here.
And what are the 3 kings' gifts? Frankincense, and some myrrh and gold.
We used to have one big present, and lots of little presents, colouring book, crayons, sweets. But you never questioned, like you do now, you never asked for computers. Well, there weren't such thing as computers years ago.
Oh, Tito.
Oh, that's a nice one, isn't it?
Ah, wicked.
That's brilliant.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah. I'll just put it in as a link catalogue.
It's Christmas Day and I'm home for dinner, and I'm just thinking to myself, it's nice to have somewhere to go and nice to have somewhere to belong.
No, no, no! Pull that, pull that, pull that. Pull the string. That's it.
Oh!
I like making an annual speech which nobody listens to. I always wanted to be queen.
We've had a super Christmas dinner, and so what more can I say? That's our Christmas.
Why do you miss when my baby kisses me?
Oh.
I've enjoyed yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you people are here for. You want to find out about Hollywood. Hollywood doesn't want to be revealed.
Madame Alex was Hollywood's most feared madam when film producer Ivan Nage decided his girlfriend was going to take over. But then...
She started to get greedy, and she thought, why should she give him half of everything?
Ivan Nage got me arrested.
I was venting anger.
Nick Bloomfield goes in search of the truth.
You already squeezed me as much as you can squeeze.
Heidi Fleiss, Wednesday at 9:45 on BBC2.
What would you do for $1 million? Robert Redford poses this dilemma for Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson. An indecent proposal on BBC One in 10 minutes. 25 years of award-winning comedy here on BBC2 at 12:30. The show that launched countless careers. Rowan and Martin's Laughing. For the BBC 100 season, now on BBC2, a powerful and award-winning film following a young man's journey through confused sexual identity within a brutal and volatile regime. Chung Kai-ger's Farewell, My Concubine.